All the people who turn on their video are in front of me right now. Yes, Sanjuji is there. Anjuji, he's saying you should have been here.
He can't see you.
I know. I was thinking I'll play along with everyone else. They're also hiding themselves, so I'll also hide myself.
Hello, Neil. Good morning.
Feeling like a tit for tat mood this morning.
You can't hide.
Good.
एतस्मा जायते प्राणं मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च खं वा ज्योतिरापः विश्वस्य धातुः. Okay, let's start. Can I sit on that? I think I'll sit on that chair. I'll be able to fold my legs.
Would that be comfortable? I think better. The back.
Fine.
Do you have a background?
I just want to fold my legs.
Acha.
I think it's fine. Next time. This is perfect. I have such a bad habit. I go to a restaurant and I'm sitting like this.
Even I do.
Huh? And sometimes in so-called fancy restaurants. So, okay, let's start. प्रातस्मरामि हृदि संस्फुरदात्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित्सुखं परमहं सगतिं तुरीयम् यत्स्वप्नजागरसुषुप्तमवैति नित्यं तद्ब्रह्म निष्कलमहं न च भूतसङ्गः तपोभिक्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्षोऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते बोधोऽन्यसाधनेभ्यो हि साक्षान्मोक्षैकसाधनम् पाकस्य वह्निवज्ञानम् विना मोक्षो न सिद्ध्यति. We'll chant from verses 34. Verse number 34 to 38. Chapter 4. तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञाननस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोह एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि. यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव वृजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव वृजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि यथैधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निः भस्मात् one second भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा यथैधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निः भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धिं कालेनात्मनि विन्दति न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति Verse number 34. तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Know that by prostration, by questioning and by service, the wise who have realized the truth will teach you the knowledge. The wise who have realized the truth. Tattvadarshinaha. Tattva means not Rachnaji's company. Huh? Tattva means essence. Beyond the words, beyond the concepts, beyond all the din and roar of bhajans and kirtans and seva and this and that. Beyond all these discussions, one who has understood the essence. All of these are means to reaching the essence. Right? Karma, bhakti, jnana and all the various other yogas are all means to helping one, nudging one, guiding one, pointing one towards the truth. And that truth is ultimately realized by a meditative being, one through sustained meditation realizes the essence, the truth that is beyond words. We try very hard to capture it in words, but if you think you know with the words you have received, it means you don't know. One who has realized the truth and is completely immersed in it, it has become the truth. There's no shortage of such people, let me tell you that. You will think this is Kali Yuga, such a terrible place, terrible things are happening. There are always those who have realized the truth. In fact, the demand for the truth will increase now. the demand for truth increases at a time like this. I don't know if this is a Kali Yuga or not. I really don't know. If this is Kali Yuga, it's pretty good. Uh, all things considered. So there's no shortage of learned people, there's no shortage of knowledge, there's no shortage of those who have realized the truth. What is there a shortage of? Seekers. There's always a shortage of seekers. Seekers. Those willing to learn, wishing to learn. Sometimes there are 20 people, sometimes there are 6 people. There have been times when there are no people. Huh? There was a couple of times where there was one person. And I really admire that one person. Like, thank you. You kept me going. Huh? There's no shortage of people who are knowledgeable, not only theoretically, but even they're all around. In fact, those who have realized the essence move around incognito. They don't necessarily display it, show it. They walk and talk with you. As Swamiji says, they walk with you, talk with you, they wine with you, and they dine with you. They lead normal lives like you and me. As per their prarabdha. But that doesn't necessarily diminish their inner state. So there's never been a shortage of realized people. And there never will be. Truth will always have its takers. It's only that there's a shortage of students. So what are the qualities of a student? And what must you embody to become a true seeker? I like the word seeker better than student. Right? Your student may mean someone who has some ulterior objective of getting good marks. Huh? Seeker. Seeker who is seeking, who wants to know, who wishes to know. If you wish to know, if you wish to realize, if you wish to learn, you need these 3 qualities. Prostration, questioning, and service. Pranipatena, Krishnena, Sevaya. I told you to memorize this verse. If you don't memorize this verse, at least learn these 3 words. Pranipatena, Krishnena, Sevaya. Pranipatena means a spirit of surrender. Prostration. The other day, a guru in their own right, they came to my house. Not very necessarily very known. So someone asked me, will you touch their feet? Huh? I said, of course. I'll put my head to their feet. I still distinctly remember one day when Swamiji came back from a long tour. He had gone to USA or something. And you wait in anticipation for your guru. So after a long tour, and we had all had the masti, we were done with our masti also. We're like, okay, now we want some real Vedanta back in our lives, sitting in the ashram. So we are all sitting in the lecture hall, waiting for Swamiji to come back, and then he shows his divine face, glowing, tejas. Everyone is, and there are at least 150 people in the hall, and each of us go and prostrate to him one by one. So there was a guest, and guests question a lot, which is good. Why should we prostrate to him? Why are people? Is this a cult? You're like prostrating to him. What is the meaning of prostration? This is only symbolic.
Your ego you're trying to run it.
You're surrendering to the feet. Means it's symbolic that those people are standing on something. They're standing upon something you think you can learn from, you bow to, you think you can gain from them. So it's symbolic of I don't know. My head, my center of knowing, learning, doesn't know, and I'm bowing to you so that I can learn what you stand upon. Prostration is the spirit of I don't know. You don't have to do Shashtan Namaskar. I like to do it. It's good. It's very symbolic and it's a very strong symbolism. You don't have to do it, especially if you have knee pains and back pains and all that. The spirit of I don't know. If you have that spirit of I don't know, you have pranipate. If you approach any situation in life with I don't know. And the beauty is, the more knowledgeable you are, the more truly knowledgeable you are, the more you tend to have this spirit. I don't know. Even the knowledge you possess, you will qualify it with a perhaps. Perhaps one way to look at it is, see, in daily arguments in relationships with people, one thing is to say, I think. It's a totally different thing to say, perhaps this could be a way to think about it. You're saying the same thing, and it's not that you are making it up. You genuinely have the feeling within you that, oh, my opinion is just a perspective, and I'm open to other perspectives. Or I'm willing to look at things from your perspective. Or I may be wrong, or there may be more to learn. It's all those things combined into perhaps. It's an internal awareness.
You tend to learn from everything, right?
Someone who has this spirit of I don't know tends to learn from everything, and you can't learn something you think you already know, right? So if you have the spirit of I don't know, then you'll be a learner from any environment. Pranipatena. First, foremost, most essential quality of a seeker. If you think you've already found it out, see, funny thing is, especially people in this field, I know, because this is what I've been taught. This is God, this is not God. This is the right God, this is the wrong God. It's a mockery. Most religious institutions are a mockery because of this. And then when a teacher comes to challenge that, we feel offended by the teacher himself. How could he say that? Yeah, that's fine. And teachers have come through the ages and come and challenged the norm of what is the prevailing belief system. Because when your seeking turns into a belief, that's when garbad happens. I believe in this. Good, you stay with your belief. Stupid belief. Belief means don't challenge me. That's what belief means. When people are saying, I believe in this. I was in Sadhguru's talk last Friday, Saturday, and it was quite a sight. Those of you who were there, may have been there, would have seen it. His style, his approach, his style didn't necessarily, again, this is being recorded, I don't know if I should say all these things, but what was apparent is that his style didn't sit right with a lot of people, right? Especially one who may have been, so in fact, some people came and asked me, how did you like it? You don't have to, you can say the truth, I didn't like it. I loved it. Oh no, really, you don't have to. Their assumption is that I have a belief system because I speak in a certain way and I talk about this knowledge in a certain way. So that is wrong. Or, belief means when someone says, what do you believe in?
Ouch. Misha आ जाता है from 7th floor for Tiku and Pari.
Sorry, today we have a dramatic morning.
Where did they come from?
Hi. Hi.
He's too cute.
Hello, Mr. Frenchie.
Somebody.
He is Mr. Frenchie.
When he was family, he was kitchen में आ गया साथ में था. He's tiny.
A French bulldog just walked into our class. In case you guys are wondering what's happening. Huh?
Sir, my dog is also sitting and listening to your talk right now. Next.
This one wasn't listening. This one just came to not disrupt, just to he walked in somewhere he didn't know where he was.
Part of this conversation.
Okay. So have less beliefs and seek more. That's what I'm trying to say. Right? Have less opinions, wish to.
So we see that you should have a belief system.
Who says?
There's something you want to hold on to.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean you grab onto it and grasp onto it. It's a very thin line between. See, you should seek, and the moment you will seek a lot of. When we say you should have a belief system, that is as opposed to not seeking at all, not being curious at all, right? But belief should not be rigidity. That's all we're saying. And unfortunately, belief translates into rigidity. You start identifying with this is my perspective, this is my guru. When that mindness comes and someone else comes and challenges that, how dare you say that against my guru? So frustration means the spirit of I don't know. I wish to learn. I'm seeking. I'm wanting to learn. Right? But again, symbolic of prostration, when we bow down, we think it means complete surrender. Yeah? What is surrender? In the Vedanta treatise, he gives a beautiful definition of surrender. He says, when the intellect fails to comprehend, the mind develops surrender. It's a seeking. Which means the intellect has tried to comprehend.
After trying
Huh? It's not that you just laid bare your arms, waving the white flag. No, you're seeking, you're constantly searching. And when you have a realization that it is beyond my capacity right now, surrender. I don't know. Most essential quality of a student. And what must follow that surrender is pariprashnena. Prashna means question. You must have the art of questioning, clarifying. Seeking without questioning is a mockery. We are not advocating for blind beliefs and cultish trends out here. No. When you surrender and you take in information from an external source, from a guru, from a book, from a tradition, you must question it. The question has developed this connotation of challenging. No, we're not saying necessarily challenge it. When we say question, we mean try to assimilate it through clarification. When you question, you're going deeper. You're trying to dig deeper, right? As opposed to taking it at face value. As opposed to... See, I've always said this. I think back in the day, when I was giving my SATs, my teacher told me, how do you know you're developing the art of questioning? When you can read any paragraph and come up with 10 questions. clarifications. You know, questions about what something is saying, questions about what it is implying, questions about what it may lead to. All of these are questions. All of these are, in the questions about where it has come from, questions about the all these things. All of these count as questions. None of these are challenges. They're inquiries, right? But you must have the spirit of questioning, because that is what will help you go deeper. That is what will help you develop a personal relationship with knowledge. At least, otherwise, it will be something said by someone else which you are just believing because they are great people. Why are they great people? Everyone said they're great people. You will always have a distant relationship with that knowledge. It will always be you'll always have a relationship of authority and follower rather than one of engagement. When you prostrate, yes, there is authority and there is listener. But when you question, you bridge that gap. You make it your own. Right? So, pranipatena prashnena sevaya. Beautiful quality of a student is seva bhav. Acharyo pasanam. Elsewhere he says Acharyo pasanam. Here he uses the word seva. Acharya upasana. Upasana means worship. Acharya means teacher. Worship of the teacher. Means you're dedicated. You realize that if you're receiving, you must contribute. Materially, physically, in whatever form. Most highest contribution is Swadhyaya. The highest Guru Dakshina is Swadhyaya. People say, I don't like this Guru, he charges for his classes. He charges for his classes because you don't contribute to his classes. It's a double fault. He is charging because you don't have a seva bhav. You must feel a helpless urge. You must feel a helpless urge to contribute as per your capacity. In the ashram, we did karma. Karma was a seva to the ashram. Why? Because we are receiving, we must contribute, we must run the place, we must sustain it. Through your contributions, things will be sustained. Through seva bhav, knowledge is sustained. Seva to the Guru, seva to the knowledge. Me teaching you out here is an example of seva bhav. Yes, at the same time I'm gaining also, no doubt about it. But it's also a service to the knowledge. I have learned something, I'm sharing it to the best of my abilities, no strings attached, passing it forward. That's seva bhav. But before passing it forward, you must first gain it. So that is Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is the highest seva. You must learn it yourself. So that spirit of service, that spirit of giving back, that spirit of that awareness that you have received, that attitude of gratitude, is very important for a student. This is not a transaction. थोड़ा पैसा दिया and आपको ज्ञान मिल गया. No. This is not something that you are transacting for and paying for and therefore you are benefiting. No. What you are receiving is far more valuable than what you paid for. There's no value to this. I'm sure you've all realized this by now. There's no value to this knowledge. It's more valuable than Hermes. Hermes, no? Or Hermes or Hermes or Hermes. When you have these qualities, a teacher will come into your life. When the student is ready, the master appears. Says the Upanishads, not me. It's a viral online, quote also maybe. It's come from the Upanishads. When the student is ready, the master appears. Mundaka Upanishad, precisely. Beautiful verse. Okay. Yes, Rituji, questions.
So, so again, like you said, the intellect fails to comprehend and the mind begins to surrender. True. So, sir, this thing about surrender, of course, you said it, and of course, I'm sure it is meant. So, surrender, one would consciously, maybe not only because your mind is beginning to not comprehend, or you feel there is any inadequacy there, or you feel it is incomplete, but this overall feeling, this one feeling that you always know and that you should know that you're not, you know, yeah, because you are a seeker, like you said. So that would should get in surrender, and simply understood, it is trying to, uh, it is you put down your ego. Only when you put down your ego, you surrender. So can one understand it like that also?
What is the difference between the two?
No, there isn't any, sir. I was just trying to ask that when a mind, like you said, when the intellect fails to comprehend. Sir, I'm just asking that. There isn't any difference, and I'm sure that's the essence. But like you said, it's always better to take it a little further and understand for clarity of learning. So that is why I asked, sir.
No, precisely. So, what is the difference? Because either your intellect thinks it comprehends, that is ego. I know,
True.
right? When your intellect fails to comprehend, that voice within you says, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, that's a sublimation of ego. So, it means one and the same thing.
It is. It is.
It's
Yes,
a
sir.
poetic way to put it.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Verse number 35. यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि. Verse number 35. Knowing which you shall not again get deluded thus, O Pandava, by which you will see all beings in self, also in me. So, the knowledge which the Tattva Darshina, one who has realized the truth, one who is living in truth consciousness, one who is living just like a fish swims in water, you're swimming in truth at all sides. That knowledge which you gain from a person who lives in truth, from a tattva darshina, which you will gain when you have these three qualities, pranipakena prashnena sevaya. Knowing this knowledge, you shall not again get deluded, O Pandava, by which you shall see all beings in the self and also in me. What is this knowledge? This knowledge of self, this knowledge which is trying to be conveyed through Vedantic ideas and concepts, this knowledge which is the essence of all religious doctrine, this knowledge which helps you see all beings in the self and that very same self is me, also in me. As you grow spiritually, you gain an awareness of the unity in the diversity. You are able to see the oneness in all beings and all things. You see less divisions and demarcations. As your ego reduces, these artificial walls and barriers of separation which you have created between you and me, they disappear. This is exactly what Sadhguru said on Friday. He said, when you look at it from the body, I and you have separate bodies. When you look at it from the mind, you have different emotions. I have different emotions. When you look at it from the intellect, you have a different slicing and dicing tool. I have a different slicing and dicing tool. But when you look at the intelligence in you and me, he uses the word intelligence. We use the word Atman. When you go beyond words, you're able to make these connections. Intelligence. Better word almost. You feel like you're swimming. Intelligence. When you tap into that intelligence, and he said, I'm like this because I see no difference between you and me. Nobody is able to understand what on earth he's saying. Does that mean you have to control your mind? Does that mean you have to tap into a deep? Words cannot grasp it. By which you shall all beings. Sorry, someone saying something.
No. So the slicing and the dicing tool, according to Sadhguru, is which? If intelligence is different?
The intellect.
So
Don't get
intellect.
word intelligence. Forget what I said. Because in this class we use the word intelligence slightly differently. So forget what I said. When you're ready to go beyond words, then we will talk about these things. The intellect is a tool that slices and dices. How is it a tool that slices and dices? We are doing it right now. We are dividing Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. What are we doing? We are slicing and dicing. Why? Because slicing and dicing helps us understand. But after slicing and dicing, you actually have to glue it back. Why? Because yoga is one. He who sees Sankhya and yoga as separate as a child. It's like you've separated the things to try to understand, but you've kept it separate. You take a bulb and you take it apart and you take out the film and you take out the... Why? To make sense of it. Oh, what works how? But to make it work again, you have to put it back. So the intellect has a role, and a very important role, but beyond, you have to go beyond the buddhi as well. Right? That's his perspective. Or at least that's how I understand his perspective. It makes a lot of sense. Anyway, this knowledge which you gain from the Tattva Darshana, when you have these qualities of Pranipatena, Prashnena, Sevaya, the knowledge you will gain, the spiritual awareness which you will gain will set you free. It will make you realize the oneness in all beings. It will dissolve your ego. You'll see सब में भगवान दिखेगा. You'll see goodness in all beings. You'll be able to accept, and you'll be able to be more patient, and you'll be able to be more light-hearted. You'll be a better listener. All of these things. Huh? Not at all. In the beginning, you'll be a little ashamed of your previous self. Because you will separate between your tattva and your sharira. Your sharira is what is your previous self. Your sharira is what will continue to make mistakes. In the beginning, when there's Samudra Manthan, the first thing that comes out is poison. You become acutely aware of everything that has been wrong with you. You almost judge your mistakes. That happens. But then you have to move beyond that also. Nobody's perfect. There's so much good in the worst of us, so much bad in the best of us. So it makes no sense to talk about the rest of us.
It feels like it's like a drilling all the time.
It's a path of self-correction. I don't like to see it as a grilling. Grilling means someone is holding a
No, not
danda.
drilling as such.
So, what was I saying before?
Self-correction.
Before self-correction. What was I saying before self-correction? So much good in the worst of us, so much bad in the best of us. We have to apply that to others also. And we have to apply that to ourselves also. We have to be kind to ourselves also. There's so much good in us, so much bad in us. It's a path of constant self-correction. And the beauty is, you're a doctor, you're a person of biology. Again, there's a beautiful quote in the Vedanta treatise which says that as a species evolves, it becomes more and more acutely aware of its deficiencies. Its deficiencies. The more advanced a species is, the more stark its deficiencies or its problems, they stand out, right? Because it almost becomes like in a beautiful painting, if it's a white painting and you see a mark, it's very visible, right? So the more perfect you are, the more imperfections will appear to you. That's just how it goes. So you will huh?
But in yourself and not others.
Correct.
Because the more perfection you see, will you see more imperfections in others as well?
Yes, you will, but at the same time, you will be much more accepting of them in yourself and in others. So we're talking about acceptance, as opposed to you judge or hate. So you'll see all beings in the self. Means you'll see everything as the self playing the fool. Every being as the self coated with vasanas. You're the self coated with creative vasanas. You're the self coated with analytical vasanas. You're the self coated with naughty vasanas. You're the self coated with kind vasanas. That self, that Atman, that core is the Paramatma, is the Lord. This is what is in store for you. If you do pranipatena prashnena sevaya, this is what you can grow to. You'll be breathing an ethereal air. You'll be free from the shackles of all negative emotions. Verse number 36. Beautiful verse. Api chedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamah sarvam jnanaplavenaiva vrijinam santarishyasi. Api chedasi papebhyah santarishyasi. Api means even. Api. Even if you are the most sinful of all sinners. Papebhya papakrittamaha. Even if you are the most sinful of all sinners, you shall verily cross over all sin by the raft of knowledge. He is trying to convey to you the power of knowledge, the power of learning, the power of seeking. And he's trying to do it with a superlative. The mostest, the nicest, the bestest. Suppose you go to a wonderful restaurant and you have a delightful meal. Oh my God! And in Calcutta, everyone says, "Oh, that was to die for, to die for, to die for." That's why someone smart, intelligent made a restaurant to die for. I know that guy. Nice guy. I'm sure a lot of you know. To die for. But if you don't have these sophisticated terms to die for, before that you will say, it's the bestest, this. It's better than the best. That's how you'll try to convey something that is beyond comprehension, beyond expression, beyond explanation, right? So he's saying, even the most sinful of all sinners, mostest sinful of all sinners, what can be more sinful than all sinners? Maha sinful. Means someone who is living a very troubled life, someone who's made a lot of mistakes. What is sin? Sin is mental agitation which is caused by the rebound from your own actions. When your actions rebound to create a sense of guilt, a sense of remorse, a sense of whatever, agitation, that is sin. So most sinful means someone who's troubled. Why? Because they have messed up everything. Messed up their personal life, messed up their professional life, messed up their financial status, messed up their emotional relationship, messed up everything. Imagine that person. Even that person, knowledge can liberate. So we are all sinners, aren't we? As the Christians will say, we are all sinners. But we're not more sinful than the most sinful, right? There's something good in you also. You've made mistakes, I have made mistakes, we've all made mistakes, but you're not most. If they can be resurrected with knowledge, if they can be reformed with knowledge, we still have a lot of hope. A few things, if we bring into our lives, a few disciplines, a few corrections, you'll be surprised. Even 5% of this knowledge can put you in the 95 percentile. You know what is 95 percentile? Better than 95%. That's what it means. Top 5%. So this is the power of this knowledge. It can transform. There is no eternal damnation. According to Vedanta. No eternal damnation. There's always hope. And that doesn't mean you do all the bad things and then one day you pray to the Lord. Monday to Saturday you do all the terrible things and Sunday you go to Kalima and say. And that won't work. God is smarter than that. He'll give you one whack. If you have Shraddha, if you have sincerity, if you're willing to make consistent change.
Valmiki is the best.
Indeed. From a thief to a sage. And what a sage. Oof. I'm reading the... What am I reading? Yog Vasisht. That's also written by Valmiki. Not only the Ramayana. See, Vyasa wrote the Mahabharata and he even composed the Bhagavata. Similarly, Valmiki composed the Ramayana and then, I don't know, maybe he felt like something was missing. I need to talk a little more about Rama. And I need to focus a little more on. So he created the Yoga Vasishtha. So Valmiki is a beautiful example, and only symbolic that anyone who is willing to make change, the ball is in your court. Are you wanting to lift yourself? Of course, the change will be gradual. It's not a jadoo ki chhadi, but actually it is a jadoo ki chhadi. Actually, it is a jadoo ki chhadi, because what it can do for a person is remarkable. It's no less than a miracle, a slow miracle, like a chemical reaction, but no less a miracle. So this knowledge is very powerful if you bring yourself to it with devotion, with surrender, with inquiry, and if you dedicate yourself to it with Shraddha, it can lift you. Don't worry. We're all in safe hands and good hands. Verse number 37. See, he's trying to reassure Arjuna. Don't worry, yaar. You're taking care. Whatever I'm telling you, sab theek ho jayega. Similarly, we are telling you, don't worry. This knowledge will hold you, it will guide you, it will support you, it will transform you. Verse number 37. Yataidamsi samiddhognihi bhasmasat kuruterjuna jnanagnis sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute tatha yathaidhamsi samiddhognihi bhasmasat kuruterjuna jnanagnis sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. As blazing fire reduces fuel to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge reduce all actions to ashes. A beautiful simile, a beautiful metaphor given out here, comparison. Upama. This is called Upama. So, continuing to give the glory of knowledge, in the previous verse he tried to compare knowledge, the power of knowledge, to what it can do to transform a person. Here he's using a different technique to convey the effect of knowledge, right? So just as fire reduces fuel to ashes or vapor, depending on which kind of fuel you're talking about, right? If you're talking about E20 or E10 petrol, it reduces it to vapor, toxic vapor. If you're talking about wood, fire reduces wood to ashes, right? Back in the day, there was not E20, there was no Nitin Gadkari ji with Sage Vyasa, no? So they were still using wood as fuel, right? Anything that is combustible, anything that has energy stored in it and can be consumed, that is fuel. Fuel means that. So that's what he's using for the word fuel. So mostly fuel back in the day was wood. So as fire reduces fuel to ashes, it completely transforms it from this solid, hard, dominant thing to something that is so insignificant. Insignificant that you can just crush it with your fingers and smear it and then wash it away with water. Insignificant. It will easily dissolve. It will have no effect. So reducing something to ashes means making it totally insignificant. So, O Arjuna, fire reduces fuel to ashes. Similarly, knowledge is also fire. Knowledge is like a fire which reduces all actions to ashes. All actions to ashes means all desires to ashes. Means all thoughts to ashes. Means all vasanas to ashes. The chronology of action. Where does action come from? Action comes from desire. Desire comes from thought. Thought comes from vasana. So, this is the power of knowledge. Not only the doership, but your entire individuality. So, you are nothing but a bundle of vasanas. You are nothing but a bundle of thoughts and desires. You have this individuality because you have vasanas. Knowledge will completely evaporate your vasanas. You are like camphor. You light it up. Actually, this solid seeming individual, it's nothing. It's just vapor, which we have solidified into this ego. Stupid ego. It's nothing. Right now, it sounds almost offensive if I say it, but all you have to do is just open National Geographic, huh? Or go type Carl Sagan on YouTube, or type Neil deGrasse Tyson on YouTube. Everyone must have, at least 10 minutes of this kind of engagement with this kind of knowledge, or deal with some scientific concept which you can't understand. There's a beautiful channel on YouTube, it's called Veritasium. Veritasium. For those who are inclined to Veritasium. Veritas, truth, which can be verified. Veritasium. And many others. So one reason I like the channel is because after 5 minutes of the video, I can't understand. How is he making these connections? And on a variety of things. But you will realize that this solid seeming thing which you give so much importance is actually hollow. What you call solid, there's so much of space out here. You have no idea. If you go according to scientific theory, no, not water also, that's water. This thing which you call solid, no, nothing is actually touching out here. I'm pulling my skin, but nothing is actually touching. The atoms of my hand, so I'm pulling my cheek. Traumatic experience. Back in childhood, everyone would pull your cheek, especially if you had chubby cheeks. My hand, nothing in my hand is actually touching anything in my cheek. It's just, it's forces of attraction and repulsion at an atomic level. You don't believe me? That's why you need Veritasium. Oh, how stupid you are yourself, what nonsense. I can see it, you're touching it. Don't believe what you see. Look through a microscope. If you look through a microscope right now at my cheek, if you can get the microscope to zoom in enough, nothing is actually touching. And what are you? Where does your cheek begin and where does your hand end? Most of the cells in your body, or parts of the cells in your body, were actually bacteria back in the day. The mitochondria in your body right now, I don't know if Divyaji can verify this. The mitochondria in your body was a bacteria millions of years ago. Evolutionarily, it became part of a bigger unit called the cell, and evolutionarily, that cell came together to create organs. Evolutionarily, different organs came together to create a living system, and evolutionarily, that created you and me. Idiots who think knowledge will reduce it to ashes. That's the role of knowledge, to reduce your ignorance to ashes. This solid seeming ignorance, vasanas, gunas, will completely sublimate your ego. That's the power of knowledge. With that thought, we'll conclude, but 3 or 4 beautiful, actually let's take 38 also. If people have time, we'll conclude this flow of thought with 38. Yeah. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha kalenatmani vindati. Nahi jnanena sadrisham Verily, there is no purifier here like knowledge. He who is perfected in yoga finds it in the self in time. Verily, so concluding his flow of thought on the glory of knowledge, he has compared it in terms of what it's capable of doing, what it is like fire. And now he concludes by saying, verily, therefore, verily, in conclusion, as is clear, there is no purifier here like knowledge. All the Jnani yogis look at this verse and be like, look, I am on the right path. All these bhaktas, all these karma yogis, wasting their time. Jnana is where it's at. Then you have to read the next line. He who is perfected in yoga finds it in time. Jnana is not just reading this book and these verses and these concepts. Jnanam is the result of your yoga. And yoga includes study, yoga includes devotion, yoga includes seva, yoga includes everything. Yoga is a cumulative process. It has all these elements. One who perfects yoga, the product of that, the outcome of that is a deeper awareness, a realization. That's when these concepts will transform into actually living wisdom. So one who perfects yoga and all aspects of yoga, and everybody needs all the yogas, not just Jnana yoga, not just Bhakti yoga, not just Karma yoga. Any Bhakta who dismisses Jnanam is a fool. Any Jnani who dismisses Karma is a fool. Any yogi, Karma yogi who dismisses Jnana and Bhakti is a fool. You need all three. And of course, there are more yogas. It's not just that there are, but 99% of the path is Karma, Bhakti, Jnana. For certain outliers, there are other yogas also. They are outliers. There are a variety of other paths, and some have elements of Jnanam in them, some have elements of Karma in them. Different traditions at different times for different people, but for 99% of people, Karma, Bhakti, Jnana. We say yoga. One who perfects this entire show, in them, knowledge is revealed. So he who is perfected in yoga finds it within oneself, finds it in the self, in time. Kalena. When will this knowledge start to have its impact on me? I've been studying for 5 years now. In time. And you're suddenly thinking, now the knowledge is working in me. That's only the first chapter. That's only the first. It's a continuous rejuvenation. After 3 years in the ashram, you think, now the knowledge is working in me. Nah. And nature throws you a new challenge. And you have to do a little more digging. And then you think, now I have learned. So, nature throws you a new challenge. It's a constant rejuvenation. So in time, stay with the journey. Have the Shraddha, be consistent. Don't worry, you're not the worst of all sinners. You will learn, it will reduce your ignorance to ashes. In time, you'll be taken care of. You must have that spirit of surrender. We'll conclude with this thought, and we'll continue and perhaps conclude this chapter in the next class. The last 4 verses are left. So thank you so much for joining. Is there any questions? I'm happy to take up any questions. No questions means chutti for me. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again on Tuesday.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you so much.
Hari Om.
Thank you, everyone.
Hari Om.
Thank you, sir.